There's a guy here who's
just
a longtime friend, and he got his start here in this area as, I believe, a garbage man in Tacoma. Am I right?
Close. I was a garbage man during my college years, and where I would read Art Thiel, who was on the Sonics beat at the time.
You remember?
Late 70s.
And for those of you who don't recognize Stuart Scott,
Yes.
this is not him. This is Kenny Mayne.
True enough.
And I'm
got
glad
all
to see you here.
dressed up.
I did. Yeah, I cleaned up pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I found out you were coming. And this is a very big deal because this is the Star of the Year host this year. We kept him under wraps. You're kind of this stealth weapon here.
Well, I was supposed to be in Baltimore today. We were going to do a little story toward the Super Bowl.
Oh, I heard their team is
Yes,
doing
but
a
they
game.
didn't really get back to us in a timely way, so I'm happy to stay home. We're going to shoot our story next week instead.
You were blown off?
Pretty much.
Wow.
They were overwhelmed by the legitimate media doing real stories, where most of mine are sort of the pretend version.
Oh,
So-
no, I wouldn't say that any more than I would imagine a college football player might have a pretend girlfriend.
Yeah, he should just stop talking. Why? Just let it. It's enough. We know
Kenny
too
Mayne
much.
is telling somebody to stop talking.
Yeah, well, and then the other guy's going to go on Dr. Phil. I mean, it's just let it go. Nobody cares.
Explain this to me. When did Oprah and Katie Couric become the national sports moms?
Somehow they saw that as the right vehicle to express themselves. I don't know. There's a lot of channels. Well, I get like 800, 900 channels. So
And do you watch them all?
No. In fact, I don't know. I watch like 3 or 4. I don't know why I have a TV half
Are
the
you
time.
allowed as an ESPN employee to watch other channels?
Yeah, they frown on it. They like us to watch, anything as competition.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be. Who am I talking to here?
Wow, Sports Press Northwest.
That's right.
Here.
I
Yes.
know. I knew what you did. I know how it
I'm
works.
sure you did. Yes.
Yes, it was in the paper.
Yeah, and it was paper.
Yeah.
That's an unusual
That's
expression.
the thing they would deliver in the mornings. In fact, once in 6th
I've
grade,
heard about this.
I covered for Eric Benz on his paper route.
Really?
And about halfway through, I think it was the Auburn Globe.
Uh-huh.
And I gave up and just threw them all in the woods. So I'd like to admit that now. If you didn't get your paper in 1972, it's on me.
He brings up a key point here that I think gets overlooked. The newspaper industry was the only industry I ever ran into that was dependent on the will and energy of 9-year-old boys.
That is a
Does that
fact.
tell you that something might be wrong with this business?
But I still love the printed page, and I hate what happened to the PI and what's happened elsewhere. Like I'd rather read a book in my hands. I don't want to read it on an electronic tablet. So
you haven't made the transition, huh?
I mean, I'll read what's on the internet when I need to, but I like the physical feel of the whole process, the coffee, the opening the pages. And this is with all sincerity, I loved your sonic writing in those days.
for
we
sure.
we could see that you were going places.
Well, we have an opportunity, speaking of sonic writing, to
Yes.
interview somebody that I know you knew as a child growing up.
Spencer Haywood?
Spencer Haywood is going to come here.
One time we saw Spencer Haywood leaving, I believe, in his Mercedes after a game. This is back in the day where the one parents would drop you off at 7 and the others picked you up at midnight and you're 12 running around the Seattle Center. It doesn't work that way anymore. But we saw Spencer Haywood, hey, we saw Spencer. No one would believe us.
Yeah.
Like, they're
and now you
gods.
could say it again.
Now
You
I
could see him right
You
here.
know what? Huge fan.
Yes.
ABA.
Well, you know what? You're in the way of me talking to Spencer
Screw
now,
me.
so
Let's-
I'm going to
let's
have to
get
blow
Spencer
you
in.
off,
Art,
Kenny
keep up
Mayne,
the
good
good work.
to see you. All right. Our genial host tonight at the Sports Star of the Year, Kenny Mayne. Hey, guess what? Kenny Mayne just dropped the microphone. You can tell what a broadcast pro he is.